to every Chilean family, to every Peruvian, Chinese, South African, Russian, French, Vietnamese family, that all of us need knowledge now to innovate and to generate wealth. In this city, when I was born in 1957, 2/3 of people in this country made things for a living. We made bricks and cars and planes and toasters. Today, 80% of the jobs that are being created outside the windows here, people make nothing. They innovate, they think, they imagine, they discover, they engineer, they ask, they perform. They do very amazing things that lead to everyone else being able to make better products. But most of our value add and most of our wealth is moving away from being generated by production in our world to being generated by innovation. And you are the catalysts and the leaders in that. The courage of your convictions, the integrity of your science, our ability to transform it into brilliant and inclusive public policy really underlines the challenge to people in my profession and in my calling. The Barcode of Life project, I'm very happy to say, our ministry, and in fact, my premier would be standing here because in 2008, it was the very leader of our government here in Ontario who decided that science and research and evidence-based public policy was absolutely fundamental to meet the challenge. And we've committed $22 million to this particular project of so far $3.2 billion of an $8 billion research agenda, which I have been asked by Premier McGuinty to execute. Now, I'm not a scientist. As a matter of fact, I'm a bit of a fraud. Mostly they put ministers who are supposed to be passionately disinterested in the subject matter of the minister. Because of a sign I saw when I came in here earlier, which said, "Making animals count." Most of my constituents wish we made politicians that counted. But they thought I was interested in urban development and environmental issues, and I'm actually, I think I'm a closet scientist because I am an absolutely unapologetic champion for your work here and around the world. The challenges we face, we're quickly within the next 5 years going to have 40% more demand for water than we have water supply. 25% of land animals, I think, are going to be extinct by 2050, and some of my friends in the scientific community suggest that we're at risk of losing 1/3 of all of our species by 2050. 1 in 4 of us will be over the age of 65 in this country. The biggest reduction in net government revenues and the most rapid increase in the demand for government services. Just the shift from a production to a knowledge economy and the cost of energy and the relocalization of the production of food and products has public policy challenges that are extraordinary and excruciating for people who have to get elected to do their job. These are challenges that we can't do without you. But I just want to thank you for a couple of things and remind us of one thing. One, I want to thank you for your brilliance. I want to thank you for the sacrifices that you've made. And I want to thank you for coming to our city and being part of our family while you were here. I want us to realize that most of us who are Canadian have left parts of the world where war or Holocaust or famine or oppression or the complete loss of income or life brought us to these shores trying to find sanctuary and hope and peace in this country when the lands that we called home could not offer us that. We have never been more reminded in the crises and war and poverty and famine that we look at in the countries that most of us originally called home. We are emotionally attached to them and we are spiritually attached to them, and we must act in their greater interest. At the same time, we are a generation here that is probably the wealthiest, healthiest, most educated and tech savvy in the history of our country. And we inherited that from a generation of Canadians who had so very little, whom probably many of you counted as patriots in your country. And we are now trying to ask ourselves, what is our legacy, not just to our children, not just to our country, but to the world? And that starts with asking you to be part of our country. We hope that each of you will leave here with a sense of being Canadian, and that you'll understand that our sense of being Canadian is not some sort of passion for our country, but a passion for our planet and a passion for you. And that we hope, as we try to build this unique cultural experiment, the only country, I think, in the world that is trying to be the world, is an extraordinary challenge. It involves a level of fluidity in our leadership, a confrontation of racism and bigotry, sexism and homophobia, a celebration, not just a tolerance of diversity, and an ability to embrace you as partners beyond borders, embrace risk, and keep hope in our heart. And if scientists give us anything, they don't only feed our minds, they put hope in our heart. And for that, and on behalf of my country, thank you for honoring us, and I hope you'll feel part of us. God bless and keep you all safe. Thank you.